Good morning. Welcome to the Community Voice. I'm Steve Gradick, your host. Delighted to have you with us today on a very special edition of the Community Voice. Our regular guest, Dick Backert, is somewhere in Siberia at the moment, and we don't know if he'll ever be back. But nevertheless, we're honored to have in studio today the pastor and the music director of Tabernacle Baptist Church in Carrollton. Stephen Allen is pastor. Mark Barnes is music director. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, y'all sound good. Very melodious. Most of the time I don't get that. Anyway, very good. Well, welcome. You know, particularly on something like this, I'd like to, we're here to talk about the Passion Play at Tabernacle. But I'd like to, for people who may not know you two gentlemen, is to go ahead and get that wonderful 3-minute or 60-second elevator intro bio. So, Stephen, knock it off. Tell us something about your background and what brought you to Tabernacle.
Absolutely. So, my name's Stephen Allen. That's been said. I've been pastor at Tabernacle Baptist Church for 6 months now. Can you believe that, Mark?
That's awesome.
You've had to put up with me for 6 months, so it's been a good ride. And I'm originally from the great state of Texas, which, Mark, you had a stint there in Texas too, right? Yeah. So this is a little Texas-Georgia connection. And love my time in Carrollton so far. It's been a great time, just really innovative. Great to see so many good things happening. But I have to say I have a beautiful wife and I got 2 children. So if at any moment you're looking and I look like I'm falling asleep over here, I'm blaming my little 5-month-old son Stephen for that. So.
Well, Stephen's referencing our Facebook Live on the News Talk 1330 Facebook page. Tell us, before we go to Mark, tell us a little something about the church itself.
So Tabernacle Baptist Church is a historic church. It's been here, a part of the Carrollton community for, goodness, almost 125 years. It used to be on Bradley Street about 30 years ago. It got moved out to the bypass, and that's where we've been sitting ever since. And just from the history that I've known, because I've just been part of it for a short time, has just been a part of this community, has loved this community, and we hope it continues to be a great beacon of light for West Georgia.
You're a relatively young guy.
I guess that's true.
Yeah, but this is not your first church.
This is not. I moved actually here from the Washington, D.C. suburb, Springfield, Virginia.
Oh, well, bless you.
That is, I know. I escaped the traffic.
You escaped, yeah.
And the cold weather snow, yeah.
And the culture.
And
Okay, we're going to move now to Mark Barnes, music director, who from what I understand, has got a fascinating little spin on his life and his music. But tell us a little something about yourself.
Well, I'm from Georgia. Grew up in Douglasville, went to Douglas County High School. West Georgia graduate, went out to Texas and got a seminary degree out there. Came back, and I've been at First Baptist Church, First Methodist Church, and away for a time, and then back down in Carrollton at the Tabernacle Baptist Church.
And you're going to be, I have to bring this in as you would expect, you're going to be at the Kennedy Center this weekend?
Yes, Friday night we'll be singing at the Kennedy Center with the Atlanta Symphony Orchestra.
Tell us a little something about the choir there at Tabernacle.
It's great. We have a great choir. There's been a great music program at Tabernacle for years and years and years. And I would like to think we're carrying on that tradition. And right now we probably about 50 choir members on a regular basis. For the Passion Play, we're going to have more than that, probably 70 to 75 singers.
Okay.
So.
Well, that's a perfect tee-up for what we're going to talk about this morning, the Passion Play at Tabernacle. But before we really jump deeply into that, let's hear from our advertiser, Tanner Health System. We'll be back with more after this.
Need help finding something healthy to eat? Tanner Health System has an app for that. Minuit helps you find healthy food options on the go. The smartphone app is powered by Tanner's Health experts, who teamed up with restaurants across West Georgia to make it easier for you to choose healthy food and eat better. Minuit acts like your personal nutrition assistant, showing you the healthiest items on the menu. So when you're not sure what's good to eat, Minuit. You can even use the app to look up recipes and plan healthy meals at home, and modify your options based on nutritional preferences, such as a low-sodium or vegetarian diet. Minuit and Tanner Health System, making it easier to eat healthy and live well. A healthier lifestyle is only a fingertip away. Minuit is free to download on your Apple or Android smartphone. You can download it today by searching Minuit in the App Store or on Google Play. Learn more about Minuit at gethealthylivewell.org.
Okay, good morning. Welcome back to the Community Voice. I'm Steve Graddick, your host. Thank you for joining us this morning on WLBB and to our Facebook audience. Welcome on News Talk 1330 on our Facebook page. Well, it seems like the people at Tabernacle, and you two would know better than anybody else, are going to embrace the idea of doing a passion play. And I think it says featuring the day he wore my crown. Why in the world? This is not a small project.
No, it's not. It's not. In fact, Mark came to me, and it really was pretty recent. You know, we've of course, being in the Tabernacle for about 6 months, we're kind of revamping our direction and everything that we're doing there, and trying to get innovative and really empower our people to come up with ideas, including our ministers. And Mark came up to me and said, "God's put something on my heart." I said, "Okay." It's always scary when your music minister says that because you never know where they're going with it. And he said, "You know, at Christmas time, we have all these great events that go on, and we do. All these churches, I mean, if you want the nativity story, you can get it in Carrollton, Georgia, and it is awesome. But he said at Easter, there's just not a lot going on. And so, like he said, we have a history of doing this in our music program. When Jack Gant was the music minister at Tabernacle, we did the Living Christmas Tree every year. And so we've had a history of doing that, so there's some excitement behind it. But Mark has carried this thing, and it has been a massive undertaking. What did you say, Mark?
Massive.
I attended, I think, 2 or 3 different times when First Baptist Atlanta did the Passion Play. They did it for 35 years. And the word massive is absolutely appropriate. Tell us a little something about how you perceive the massiveness of this with the music, the orchestra, the actors, the sets, everything.
Yeah, we wanted to do something that encompassed the whole church, could get the whole church involved, and something that would be produced for the whole community. So this idea of inclusiveness and wholeness and completeness, I think the Passion Play spoke to me because that is a way for the whole church to get involved. And so far we've had about 200 volunteers from the church. We're going to have about 70 plus in the choir, probably about 150 or so in the cast. And it's just been an amazing undertaking, but everybody has stepped up and volunteered, and it's just such an amazing thing to see that many people come together to do one thing.
And if I can say too, it's not what's great is it's not just a Tabernacle thing. We've seen people from our sister churches in the area, other choir members coming in, and have grown that number up even more. And so
that was one of my questions. So you can bring in people from outside your Tabernacle to participate?
Yes. As a matter of fact, we have some singers from King's Chapel, from Rooteville Road, and probably a couple other churches as well.
Now, your sanctuary seats how many?
About 1,000.
About 1,000. Mm-hmm. Okay. And you're going to have how many performances of this?
We're going to do 3. And the reason we're doing 3, we're doing a Friday night, Saturday night, 14th and 15th. Mm-hmm. The reason we're doing 3 is because we're doing tickets to kind of get an idea of how many people to expect.
Just free tickets.
Free tickets.
Yeah, that's right. Free tickets.
But they're all gone.
Yeah.
So we, quote, unquote, sold out in about a week. All the tickets were gone. Yeah. And so we decided to go ahead and add a Saturday afternoon performance at 3 o'clock for those who couldn't get a ticket but still wanted to come, because we kind of think there's a whole lot of people that really are interested in this.
Well, I remember when First Baptist Atlanta did it. I think they did it for like 3 weeks running.
Right.
So next year we'll probably add a weekend, right?
I don't know about that.
Is that a cold sweat you're breaking out over there, Mark?
His hair is falling out.
Yeah, that's right. Right.
What about the actual music? You'll have an orchestra, and how's that going to be laid out?
We're not actually using an orchestra.
Okay.
We're using the track. For the musical. The musical is The Day He Wore My Crown.
Okay.
It's this is the 35th anniversary of that music.
Well, tell us a little something about that.
Yeah, The Day He Wore My Crown is one of the classic Easter musical dramas ever written. It still has that passion and meaning, and the music is still contemporary enough to convey those powerful emotions that's required in a passion play.
Well, let me ask Stephen this. In doing something like this from a pastor's point of view, a theological point of view, there's a lot of questions.
Right.
How do you stay true to Scripture on something like this?
Well, of course, the passion narrative is played out in all four Gospels: Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. And so, as you're trying to compile these different elements of it, there's going to be some creative license that has to come. It's not going to be obviously not word for word, verbatim, whatever. But it's the music, the storyline is true to what I believe is the gospel here, and I don't think there's certainly nothing controversial in this. So I think it's a very true representation of what the resurrection narrative is all about.
Is that the message that you hope to? I mean, this was an opportunity maybe for the unchurched to come and to participate and to see.
Yes.
I mean, is that kind of the part of the hope of doing this?
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is part of our Christian witness. One of the things that we believe at Tabernacle is we want to know, show, share, and care. The gospel of Jesus Christ is encompassed in all of that. And as we show, we want evidence that, one, to enrich the life of believers so that they are more confident in their faith, but more so, we want people to know what we believe and why we believe it, and get that idea out there, because it's important, especially in this world that's so full of strife and angst and anxieties. Here comes a message that, number one, carries the greatest story of all times, but even more so, to see people coming together to put on this performance shows what the unity of the church is all about, and how that can impact our culture, our world. And so there's a great message that is much larger. Yeah.
One thing I'm very curious about, after the movie, I guess it's been almost a decade ago, Mel Gibson's Passion of the Christ. Mm-hmm. Question becomes exactly how realistic do we want this to be, or are we comfortable with being? And that leads into the question, what about young children?
Yeah, Mark, why don't you take that one?
Yeah.
All right, that was an easy one.
We do. It will be fairly realistic. We are using nails and hammers and a real cross, and Daniel Aiken is our Jesus, and he's already suffering a little bit through the practices. But everything is staged and faked in a way that makes it look a little real, because I think we need to see the kind of pain and agony that Jesus suffered through the Passion. I think that's the whole point of the Passion play.
And I think that with that comes some caution, in the sense for littlest ones. We do have child care available throughout it, and so obviously for the little ones, we don't want to put them in a situation where they don't understand what's going on and they can't tell the difference between the fiction, the presentation, and the true story, and whatever's happening in reality. So, but I think there needs to be a word of caution there. But at the same time, I mean, it's not going to be quite as Gibson did it, as intense as that.
It's not quite that intense.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, I think that was the most extreme intensiveness I think you could possibly present.
Yeah, I remember sitting in the movie theater seat, just sweating, gripping onto the seat, and just tears falling, because
and everybody around you was just
just so brutal.
It was so quiet, and just so amazed.
We did this years ago, and one of our Roman soldiers' child, she was about 4 years old, and she said, "Daddy, you killed Jesus." Mm-hmm. And so we had to, from that point on, we were really trying to help the kids understand what was going on. And so we let Jesus come back out afterwards, let them, put their hands on his hands and see him, that he was okay. Nobody was actually hurt.
And he was sitting next to the Roman soldiers, right? So everyone knew, they're like putting their arms around each other afterwards. They're pals. Yeah.
So you say, as far as child care, would you have like maybe a cutoff age where maybe kids younger than such and such? They hadn't really thought about that.
Well, no, we have it all worked out. It's up until about the second grade or so is what we have the child care available for. Okay. It's what we typically offer for Sunday morning.
In all of these plays, and I feel like I'm throwing you these hardballs, but that's okay.
Not at all. No,
in all these plays, there's always that question, or the issue is who plays Christ, and how do they look? And and that's a whole nother topic. But are you comfortable with you mentioned the gentleman who is playing Christ?
Yeah, we're comfortable with him. Yeah, he definitely has the look, and that was one of the things. But he also has some acting background and drama background too, and that was part of it. But I tell you, the part of Jesus is a growth part. I mean, you cannot go through that part and not really feel somewhat of what Jesus went through, and it really does something to you. So I would say that our Jesus is not as perfect as Jesus was, but nobody's that perfect.
Sure.
So, but it'll be a really stretching thing for him.
Okay. Yeah, because that's a whole big topic.
Jesus to look like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I just wonder in West Georgia, we don't have a lot of people who have a Middle Eastern look,
Yeah, exactly.
and so this is definitely westernized. Solution. Yeah, it's being an Aramaic, like again Gibson's film did. So
Sure, and then again, we're talking about God Himself. So
yeah.
How do you put that image, or should you even put that image on there?
Well, I think that's the beauty of when you bring art into the church. There's so much. The gospel is relevant. It's been relevant for centuries, for millennials now, and it's been something that has transcended culture. And so what's beautiful is you were to do this passion play in China or do it in Kenya, then it would take on the look of those people, and what it shows is the relevance and the relationship of the gospel. We don't need to put a description on Jesus. In fact, I was noting with my staff the other day, the only time you actually see a physical description of anybody in the Bible is about Zacchaeus, who was a wee little man, and wee little man was he. That's the only time you see a physical description, with good reason, because it's not about those things.
Our guests this morning are Stephen Allen, pastor of Tabernacle Baptist Church, along with music director Mark Barnes. And the topic is the Passion Play at Tabernacle, featuring The Day He Wore My Crown. And we've got a lot more we want to talk about regarding the play, and we're very excited about it, and we invite you to stay with us. But first, this word from Tanner Health System.
In sports, when you play to win, you get your game on. Shouldn't the same be true when it comes to your health? At Tanner Health System, we're going to help you get your healthy on. Tanner is leading the way for you to eat better, get fit, manage or prevent diabetes, and live tobacco-free, so you and your family can get your healthy on every day. It all starts at gethealthylivewell.org. Check out upcoming healthy living events and join others in the community taking action to live well every day. Gethealthylivewell.org. Tanner Health System's way of helping you get your healthy on.
Need motivation and support to eat healthier, become more physically active, or quit tobacco? Tanner offers free classes to help you get your healthy on. Register today by calling 770-214-CARE. That's 770-214-CARE. Learn more at gethealthylivewell.org.
Good morning. Welcome back to the Community Voice. I'm Steve Graddick, your host, filling in this weekend, or this Wednesday rather, for Lori and Dick Packer. And delighted to have in studio Stephen Allen, pastor of Tabernacle Baptist Church, along with the music director Mark Barnes of Tabernacle Baptist. The website, by the way, is tabernacle.org, and we invite you to take a look at that. Obviously, something like this, you've got whatever 70 choir members up there. You've got all these actors. You've got this, but that requires a producer, a director, and all kinds of behind-the-scenes people. Tell us a little something about who's pulling the strings.
Well, I guess I could say I'm pulling the big strings.
Okay.
But I have a whole lot of people that are helping. We have a costume lady. We have a drama director. We have a scenery director. We have a construction director. We have audiovisual directors. And so I'm getting a lot of help from a lot of different areas. So.
And I guess you're going to have to do some modification in a sense to the sanctuary to make it feasible as a full-fledged stage.
Yes, we're
under construction. Yeah,
it's under construction now. Yeah, we're adding some stages. We're actually adding 2 stages and a smaller little stage also, and we are covering up the back of the choir loft and the baptistry area for a short time. But we're adding a lot of features to the sanctuary to make it really look realistic as we can.
It's taking out some pews too, which are going to make some people lose their seating, right?
Well, we actually moved them to the back.
Is that what Okay, good.
I don't think we can have that.
I'm about to say, you know how those Baptists can be.
I know exactly. I remember in the First Baptist Atlanta version, it seemingly, the way I remember it, the most powerful moment was the Ascension. And obviously that requires some cabling and some, it's really a dramatic time, but it has to be done well.
Yes, well, fortunately, this is our time doing something this major at Easter. Fortunately, this musical doesn't have the Ascension.
Okay.
It skips right to the heavenly scene where he comes in and sits on the throne.
Okay, so we'll save that for next year.
Yeah, we'll save that for next year.
No zip lines or trapeze here.
Well, that was kind of the nature of my question. That's, first time out, that's a pretty challenging thing. So you're probably wise to postpone that.
It's probably the most difficult thing
Right.
to make look realistic.
Right, yeah. But once you do, whew,
Yeah.
awesome. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Are y'all going to film this? Is this something that y'all going to have a film record of, do you think?
Yes, we'll do the videotaping, our regular Sunday morning type videotaping. Nothing spectacular, but
It's great to hear
good
that
record.
word. I
Good
love
video record.
it. Yeah, videotaping. I love it.
Right.
Well, tape, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, for those who may have just tuned in just a few moments ago, tell us again when, where, and how to go about, securing tickets.
Okay, so the tickets are all gone, and the dates are Friday, April the 14th, and Saturday night, April 15th, and we do have a matinee at 3 p.m. on April 15th. Also, we have our dress rehearsal is going to be April 13th, Thursday night, and we call it an open rehearsal, so it'll be fully dressed, fully staged, everything just like we're going to do it Friday, Saturday, and it will be open to the public. Anybody that wants to come can feel free to come.
So when you say that all the tickets are gone, I mean, are you talking this is sold out?
Yes.
Okay, so basically all the seats are taken.
Well, except for the 3 o'clock matinee.
Okay.
That's open seating. That's why we added that one, is because we wanted to make sure whoever wants to come. But we will say you need to get there early. We're going to have there's plenty of parking at Tab,
Sure.
but get there early. Make sure you get a seat.
So that's 3 p.m. Saturday,
Yes, 3 p.m. Saturday.
April 15th.
Yeah.
At Tab.
That's right.
T-A-B.
Yeah, it works.
Is that your spin on this? Or is that
Other people use that, I think. Yeah, we're good.
We're
Pretty
good.
common.
Tell me a little bit more about the day he wore my crown. You said, what's the background history of that?
It was put together in the, the 80s, and it was David Clydesdale arranged several songs that were probably popular at the time. I think Gaither song in there, Dallas Holmes a song in there, some artists from that era, and he put those together and formed it into a passion play. Doug Oldham narrated it. Red Jones is going to be our narrator. Red Jones.
Never
Red Jones.
He'll do a great job.
He will. And speaking of that, we do have some great singers. Phyllis Head will be singing the title solo song. Charles Allen from past community chorus days, and he still has his hand involved in several things in town. He will be singing the role of Pilot. So it's going to be a kind of a big community thing. And
well, as a music director, I mean, you're working constantly with your singers, and so this is really, not only a challenge, but a way to showcase their talent. Is it not?
Yes, and that's part of what we want to do. We do have the great message, which is our focal point, but we definitely highlight some talent that we have at Tabernacle in the community.
Yeah.
Okay, well, very good. Basically every Sunday, am I wrong in thinking almost every Sunday should kind of approach like Easter?
Well, I mean, absolutely. We're a resurrection people, everyday resurrection. And I think that's part of it is, when we talk about salvation, we're not just talking about a end-of-the-time kind of deal, something that's, the old joke is a health insurance thing for the end of life. We're talking about everyday reality that the gospel effects are part of our life. And so in that sense, You know, Resurrection Sunday is just another, although a high water day of the year for us. We need to be resurrection people every day, and so.
While we've got to start to run out of time here, tell us a little more about Tabernacle. I mean, obviously, there's more going on there than simply producing this play and calling yourself Tab. But tell us some of the other activities and ministries of the church.
Well, you know, it's been really great to see Tabernacle engage in our community, and that's one of the things that I really want to impress upon not our people at Tabernacle, but also for the community as Tabernacle. We don't just exist as a church that's in the city or just of the city or separate from. We're for Carrollton, and we're for Carroll County, and we want to partner with whoever we can. In fact, a great example of that was this past Saturday. We had a Hoops for Health tournament with Tanner Health Systems help sponsor it, and we had 14 churches represented, 16 teams from those churches, had an all-football tournament. And it was a beautiful picture, Steve, to see all these different people from all these different churches come together and to pray before games and have unity. You know, we've been blessed with a great facility, and we want to open that up. And that's really what the vision of Passion Play is, these different events that we're doing is we want people to come in and to use our facilities and use what God's blessed us with. We need stewards of that. So since I've been there, it's been a wonderful 6 months. Been in a great history and legacy that's part of the greater faith community. That's one of the things that really stands out to me to all the churches in Carrollton. There is a sense of ecumenism, of working together, partnering to better being a part of that. And when I say us, I mean other churches are great. We're just one of us here.
But the challenge in the program a couple times is the majority of people in County are not going to church. They are unchurched, if you will.
That's right. I mean, and I think you find that in any culture and in any place now. I think what we place more mentioned, there's divisions, there's strife in our country. Opportunities for unity, and the unity comes. And need to see more and more humility. Well, hopefully this could be one way that we can really live that and be true what gospel is all about.
Okay, very good. I guess we're going to take that. Give us the invitation to and give us your best commercial.
Call it Passion featuring background music. It's going to be Saturday, April 15th, 3 p.m. and 7 p.m. And tickets are no longer available, but come on to Saturday and come anyway. Friday, Saturday night, there'll be room.
Squeeze them in.
I think so.
Okay. So, awesome seat.
Yeah.
And that seats a lot. I mean, that's a lot of people.
Sure. And
we
hope to.
I'm getting you committed.
Right. I hear that.
It's probably not fair. Anyway, all right. Well, thanks so much. Our guest this morning, in the delight for the director of Tabernacle, and to Allen, pastor. That's S-E-R-A-E. And so, but thank y'all for coming. And we hope everything goes smoothly for this and then we'll do an ascension. And stay. We have a very on the station along with a very interesting topic. We'll go tomorrow. Please tune in on Facebook Live. I'd like to thank our Facebook Live for her extraordinary work. And the health system for the community voice here on WLB Bolton.
1330.
Letter that formally begins details from the B.B. Gordon Smith.
If you like, the promises with Westminster delivery phase, because the member of Arkansas, there's been real innovative